And it started with a company called J.R. Watkins Medical Company, you might have heard of. They're still around. It's one of the first natural remedy companies where the associates marketed directly to the consumer. So it was the first time where rather than a big business that advertised, this was an individual like each one of us in the room that went out to a friend or a family member and introduced them to some natural remedies. And this company, of course, is still around today. And then in 1903, a company called R.T. Raleigh Products and Watkins Raleigh were the very first one-level marketing company, which meant they were the first company to go out and do direct selling. But it only went one level deep. In 1903 to 1940, there wasn't a lot happening. Companies were sort of copying this idea of reoccurring income, which is why we're all here, why we are all so excited about reoccurring income. But they were improving upon the idea of reoccurring income. So in 1942, a California vitamin corporation was born, and it was the first company out there that ever coined the term that we all know of today as multi-level marketing. And this company went a step further, and rather than just having you go to your neighbors and ask them if they're interested in a great product that isn't out there today, they actually went 2 levels deep. So that individual could go out and share it with somebody else, and you were getting paid off of someone else's efforts. It was the first time that people were buying products from the company, selling to others, recruiting others to get involved. So there were 2 key distributors for California Vitamins, and they were 2 gentlemen that you've probably heard of before, Richard DeVos and Jay Van Andel. And in 1959, they formed a company we've all heard of today called Amway, the Amway Corporation. Amway was the first company to take it a step further and pay out on 3 compensation levels. By 1972, Amway had done $6 billion a year in sales. And back in 1959, that's a significant number. It's significant today. Imagine what it was like back in 1959. They offered a brand new concept that had never existed. And that was to own your own business with a very low startup and a huge, almost unlimited upside. In 1972 to 1975, Amway saw a huge period of profound growth. There was a tremendous amount of success, but there were also a lot of copycat companies coming up, illegitimate companies, fraudulent companies that were attempting to construct the business model that was so successful for Amway, but in a way that was fraudulent and not honest. And those were popping up like crazy. So what happened was in 1975, the United States government, the FTC, filed a lawsuit against Amway claiming that they were an illegal pyramid, claiming that the way that they were doing business was an illegal way to do business. And they fought this lawsuit up until 1979, back and forth with the federal government. And in 1979, something very significant for Amway, but for the entire industry happened. And that was that the federal courts came out and said, and here's the ruling, that the court said that Amway was not a pyramid scheme, but that network marketing or multi-level marketing is an extremely legitimate way of doing business, of distributing products to end users. And then what they did was set out the parameters and the boundaries, just like anything else. You know, you think of a box, and as long as you